She's actually an alumnus. I believe that's correct. She's actually an alumnus. So thank you very much, AI. She's actually an alumnus of SP LASU. So like which is our very own, our very own. Like I'm already swelling with pride, even though she's like how many years my senior. Anyhow, going into the cocoa of the matter, we are now going to call on the SP LASU VP1 to give us the welcome address. Samiat and Imasha, please, are you on the call with us?
Yes, I'm the call. I'm on the call. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
All right. Good evening, everybody. So I want to welcome you all to today's webinar. Thank you, everyone, for joining us once again for pre-conference webinar 2, right, of SP LASU NEXUS 3.0. So yeah, I want you all to be very attentive because I believe this theme, especially for this conference, is a very important one that will help us to navigate, okay, how to start our career early in the in the industry, right? So I want every one of you to be attentive, stay tuned, take notes. God bless you. So yeah, welcome. I officially declare the webinar open. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, Miss VP. Please, am I seeing people's applause? Oh, thank you very much for that, Miss VP. Now I know you can't speak. Hey, thank you. That's what I love to see. That's what I love to see. All right, for this webinar to actually kick into full effect, I'm going to be reading out some safety brief, and I hope that we all can adhere to them appropriately. So the first one is make sure you mute your mic when you are not speaking. This is to ensure that we hear the speakers, their questions, and the knowledge you have to impact on us in due time. Secondly, if you have to speak, raise up your virtual hands. Please, um, if you look down on your screen, you'll see the hand symbol. So just put up your virtual hands if you need to speak. Yes, there is also the chat button for whether you want to ask questions or you want to leave a comment. Next, ensure you can still hear the fire alarm with your headset. If you're using headset, make sure it is to a manageable volume or you have one ear in and one ear out. Make sure you're aware of your environment. Make sure you're not walking in the middle of the road to avoid any kind of vehicular accident. Make sure you're always safe. So if you're cooking, pay attention to what you're cooking, or you can turn off the gas so as to avoid any kind of cooking accidents. And lastly, be at alert and aware and maintain a good sitting posture. So that is all for the safety brief. Please make sure you are safe as you wait to receive knowledge from our dear Miss Mistura Yusuf. All right, all right, all right. Who is ready for tonight's webinar? I just want to see a few thumbs up here and there. Okay, thank you. Because I know all of you that once the webinar starts, you set your phone down. You now go to Jalingo. I'm not going to allow that tonight. Tonight you must learn. Tonight you must learn. Thank you very much for that, Julius. Okay, so why should we actually listen to Miss Mistura? Why do we need to listen to her? So please be attentive as I read her profile. Mistura Yusuf Badru holds a bachelor's degree in chemical and polymer engineering. CP students say hi from Lagos State University. That's right. She has over 5 years experience within the engineering industry, which cuts across FMCG, chemical industry, and oil and gas industry in companies like Unilever PLC, Nigeria Gas Company, a subsidiary of NNPC. She previously worked as a commissioning and process/production engineer in the utility department at the largest single train refinery in the world. Impressive. Wow. Dangote Petroleum Refinery and Petrochemical (FZE), where she played a pivotal role in the commissioning of the unit and inducted over 200 trainees, enlightening visitors and investors about the refinery process. Whoa. Mistura is an award-winning member of the Society of Petroleum Engineers International with a membership of over 12 years. Whoa. Where she currently serves as the International Young Professional Committee lead after managing thousands of young professionals within Nigeria, Africa, and Germany. She is an executive master student of energy engineering and management at the Hector School of Engineering and at the Hector School of Engineering and Management, Germany, and recently earned a diploma in corporate entrepreneurship from ESADE Business School, Barcelona, Spain. I'm sorry if I butchered the pronunciation. Mistura is the host of the Behind the Scenes Energy YouTube podcast, where successful women come share the real stories of how they triumphed alongside men who helped. She is passionate about education, energy, leadership, innovation, and mentorship. She enjoys planning events, traveling, and spending quality time with her family. Mistura is married to a fellow engineer and is a proud mom of two. Please, with a virtual applause, let us welcome Miss Mistura Yusuf Badru. Wow! Miss Mistura, please, are you here with us?
Yes, please confirm you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. I just want to tell you that I want to be like you when I grow up. Nigeria,
Please be
Germany.
better than me.
Please.
Please
Wow. Oh, I'm just in
better.
awe. I'm just in awe, really. Oh, yes, ma'am. So, welcome you to tonight's webinar, and we hope to receive a lot from you and also to implement them as we go on this engineering journey.
Thank you. Do I have the floor now?
Yes, ma, you do.
Okay. So while I try to share my screen, I just want to recognize my senior, my Oga that is in the room. I've been seeing he has been dropping message on the chat. Engineer making. I see you guys had a session with him on Saturday. Unfortunately, I tried to join, but I was not available to do that. And I believe it was an impactful one. So I believe you can see my screen, right?
Yes, ma, we can.
Okay. So good evening, everyone. Thank you for inviting me. It's always a pleasure to give back to not just because I how would I put it? Particularly yes to LASU. I think unfortunately the last Nexus I was unable to actually join this session, and I just told myself when I saw the invitation I was like, okay, I just have to be a part of this. So it will look as if I'm doing shakara and I'm not doing shakara. So yeah, today's topic, I know you gave me something that would help the students get into the energy industry, but I decided to skip the energy part because I saw that Engineer Chukwemeke had a session with you on energy, the Nexus 3.0. You'll also be talking about energy and a whole lot of things. And I think I was able to talk to your president, who also said we have students across several departments. So I believe what I'm going to be sharing today is applicable to everybody. So you just have to tailor it to what industry you hope to get into. So disclaimer, we are going to be doing this together. And I'm also going to be giving you guys tasks afterwards. So let's get ready. This is going to be like a guide because I'm not going to teach you. And in between, I'm going to maybe share some of my experiences. So you know that I'm not just saying it. Maybe I obviously anybody can pick anything from the internet, but I'm so passionate about this topic because I lived it while I was in school, and I believe you guys can do way better. So, firstly, I want to start with data. In as much as I try, don't quote this data anywhere, oh, please. Oh, I tried as much as possible to get like the sourcing and the likes like that, but I just feel it's something that will still be useful. So possibly would like whet your taste bud for you to know what is coming. World has. Well, I was struggling to actually write this sentence. I really wanted to say the world is changing, but I was like, the world has changed because I looked at when I was in school and now things are completely different. Not just in terms, yes, there is the Gen Z, Gen Alpha, Gen all and everything, but not just in that aspect, even in terms of the jobs, in terms of the skills. Like when I saw this that I said 65% of students work in jobs that don't exist. While I was in school, there was nothing like a job description for data analysis. There's nothing that had to do ESG, sustainable development, energy policy, energy market, and the likes like that. Like you hardly see they might have existed, but nobody saw them as job roles. Now nobody will really even ask you they have Microsoft skills because they believe it's the nearest minimum. Now everybody expects you to be able to analyze data. So that we've moved from having the basic Microsoft Word, Excel skill to being advanced. Now the likes of Deloitte, KPMG, they want, yeah, Ernest and Young. If you want to work there, they are looking for something AI on your CV. And it's not the AI of you want to use that GPT or something. No, still boils down to data, using it in a smart way and all of it. And 87%, I think this was actually from World Economic Forum. So you can see that it's the discussion that will continue to go on and it will continue to change. So the question is, are you prepared? 87% of employers value internship experience. This might not be completely true, but it would make you stand out if you have it. Don't get me wrong that you maybe don't have internship experience and you believe you cannot compete with those that have it. Yes, what are the skills you have? And those are the kind of things we're also going to be talking about today. But imagine you have first class graduates from different universities, you all are on the same page, and the company wants to employ just two. They would look for something else that stands out in your own CV. And imagine you already have like internship experience that relates to what you want to do. Maybe not directly, but what if you've skills you say you have, you've been able to utilize these skills during the job process, and it just gives you like an edge over any other person. And you are more likely to get hired 3 times than your colleague to have relevant internship experience. I know of this. I because I saw it firsthand. So now let's see how we can get to this point of getting internships. So I'm going to be talking about 5 pillars. It's more like a framework of career readiness. When I was coming up with these 5 pillars, I was also doing my research and all. I wanted to do it like a house where the pillars will be beneath. Then, if one doesn't exist, maybe the house is going to collapse and the likes. And I found it difficult to look at the one that would really make the house collapse or the one that is not useful. So I just decided to throw away my roof and use only the pillar. So the first one, in no particular order, so please don't quote me. In no particular order, soft skills. What are the soft skills? How do you communicate? Can you work with people? How well do you adapt? See, you guys that studied in Ekpe, or is it we that studied in Ekpe? We are supposed to write adaptation as number one on our list. Because just even look at the chat, you are saying it that the network is bad and you guys are the connection is going to be poor and all. Like I know, I don't think Ekpe has, maybe in terms of aesthetics, in terms of building, Ekpe might have changed compared to when I left. But in terms of infrastructure, I don't know how well it would have changed, like maybe power supply and all of those things. So imagine you being in that space for 5 good years and you can still come out with it. Selling, you have a lot to sell of yourself. That is, if you even know how to sell yourself. And this is part of the soft skills that you should have. I'm not going to go too here because this is just me giving you a taste of what we are going to talk about. And also network. A lot of you don't know the benefit of having a network. Some of you just connect with people on LinkedIn and it ends there. go for events, you talk to people, you collect their cards, and it gets bad. It gets damage in your wallet. That's if you even know where you kept it. Don't know how to sustain relationships after you meet people, even down to your peers. There's some set of you that would graduate from school and you would not even be able to reach out to your colleagues because you don't even sustain a good relationship while in school. Talk more of when you graduate. Not to say I am, like, I can proudly say that every member of my colleague when I was in Ekpe, I can reach out to them today and I will get a response. It's not because I chat with them every day, but it's because I built the type of network that made them see me as valuable. And not just, I've talked about my peers, and that is where it starts from. So don't think it is just connecting with industry experts that matters. Don't know where your peers will go to tomorrow. Now look at the likes of this Nexus you are planning. Some of you have been able to interface with industry experts, the companies and all. It might just be an opportunity, just a starting point to something you're going to get in future. So imagine you sustaining that kind of relationship and they see you as someone that's outstanding. They would obviously want someone like you on the team. So when you apply, you're like, oh, okay, yes, we know this person. You might go through the regular procedure. Then you get to the point where, okay, yes, they have to select and they're like, okay, let's pick this guy because we know one or two things about him when we had interaction with him back in school. There are lots of events, some paid, some unpaid, meet a whole lot of. So now next thing is the real experience, which is, I intentionally kept in the center because that is why you brought me there. I'm talking about experience, internship, part-time roles, freelance gig, volunteering opportunity. All of you, please, I want you guys to raise your hand. If you are a volunteer for this Energy Nexus, let me see your hand. I'm counting those that I'm not seeing. Okay, I see two hands, just two people. Or you guys are shy to raise your hands. These things are supposed to appear in your CV. There are ways you sell yourself. There are ways you put whatever thing you have learned during the planning of this conference. Yeah, congratulations to those who are actually volunteers. This is like a kickstart to you getting the experience that you actually seek. You know how to talk to people about what you did, you are coordinating. And now it goes back to the soft skills because you are implementing those things you actually have as soft skills during this volunteering opportunity. You are working with it. And I can tell you I don't want to say I will not use the word worse, but the most difficult team you can actually work with are set of students because you guys will see yourself as peers. Like, why would he be telling me what to do or something like that? And that is where this pride and all of these things come in. But if someone can willingly and easily manage a team effectively, plan a conference, and it yields one of the best results, then you are good to go. You just need to know how to sell this you have with respect to what you did. So, um, next is technical skills, and this is where what you studied in school comes in. So, you studied engineering. What type of engineering? Thankfully, Ekpe has most of the courses that are like the backbone to a lot of different courses you can do. You studied chemical engineering, you studied electronics and computer. I think there's now aeronautics, there is mechanical and all of it. It's easy for you to diversify. Now that tech is even the hot cake out there, but I'm not even going to be talking about the tech. I'm going to be talking about the industry where you belong. So let's say, okay, now you saw when my profile was being read, it shows that I have experience across board. I didn't just stay within the oil and gas industry. I also tasted the FMCG. And I had this flexibility because I studied chemical engineering. I saw the world beyond, okay, I didn't want to restrict myself to getting, okay, what if the oil and gas opportunity did not come? Which obviously it's even like after school, it came at a later period. So I did not let any opportunities slip my hands. I took opportunity, I worked, I gave my all, and I was able to gain a lot from it. So this gave me that exposure to how I can relate whatever skill I have learned to whatever industry I find myself. And now I'm currently transitioning into management. Yes, still inside within the energy industry. But if I decide to go out of the energy industry, I believe I will still thrive because I know how to put things to use and how to sell myself in terms of what I have learned. So please, whatever thing you are learning, you say this skill, what would even give you the room to apply? You want to apply to a job, you want to do something, you will see the requirements. They will ask for chemical, maybe mechanical, this, and they say any other course that applies. Those ones they've listed are the most important ones. So now you know that you belong within that room. Then what is next? The other skills that are important. So I will go to that later. Then now, my fifth pillar is your brand. A lot of us don't know how important it is. When we talk about brand, most times you think of products, think of close up. There are lots of toothpaste out there, but a lot of people will still go to the market and tell you, I want to buy close up. But it's not close up they want to buy. But why is it being attributed as close up? Because close up has created a brand for itself that a lot of people are still struggling to beat. Go to the market, you say you want to buy Maggie, not Maggie that they want to buy. But because Maggie has, like, the bell has rang and it is still ringing, and people are like, oh, okay, yes. Then you hear this person that is selling saying, which Maggie do you want to buy? Maggie is not, it is seasoning cube. But they have created it. So imagine someone comes now and you're like, okay, I want, you are trying to describe, and you can just outrightly come and call the name of the person you are looking for. It means that that person has already put his or herself out there and you are already identifiable for that thing you can do. And now things are way better. There's LinkedIn, there is Orb, especially I'm sure those in the tech industry, those that code and the likes. I don't think anybody that code will not know anything about GitHub. There you can create your own portfolio. You can even create a website for yourself. I know people that, okay, yes, you are a web designer and you don't have a personal website. Then I think you need to check it because that is the best way to sell yourself. You put your portfolio there, you just send it to someone. I want to know, oh, wow. And the person is firstly amazed that you even have a brand for yourself, not even talk of the fact that you are selling what you do. So, how well do you put yourself out there? I'm not going to be talking about your CV because I want to believe that everybody here has a CV. And if you don't have, please, there are templates flying up and down. Get yourself a CV. So I'm going to be talking about building the skills. So now I'm going back to the skills. So the first one I'm going to talk about is the human skills, which I outrightly almost talked about. So I'm not going to be spending so much time highlighting what I have said before. You're on this platform and you're not a member of SP. I would not say that, what are you doing on this? Because yeah, it's an opportunity for you to learn what SP is all about. But please, right after this, join SP. I joined SP in my 300 level. Yes. And the way I joined SP was quite funny. Okay. So I think that day I was in, so no, obviously now 200 level we come to Ekpe from Ojo. I I just saw some girls on the campus going out of school. They went in the morning, then they came back in the evening. They were all laughing, happy, this and I was like, "Ah, what's happening? Where did they go to?" And they went to one program. I think then whenever SP has these events, I think just like this energy week that was planned, they maybe students actually volunteer as maybe ushers and the likes like that. So I saw it, I was like, then what? This thing has to be something really big. What is it about? So I went to meet the lady that was like their coordinator. I got the information. Okay, how can we join? And she told me that he mentioned who the membership chair was. And I said, okay, no problem. I went online to check what SP was. I was like, okay, I still really didn't have too much information, but at least I saw that it's professional body where people can gain skills, meet people and everything. So I got interested. And when I saw the name of this guy, fortunately for me, this membership chair wanted to date my flatmate. I was like, okay, gate pass. We just went to his hostel. Knock, knock, knock. Oh, they said you are the membership chair for SP. Okay, we want to register. On the spot, we got registered. Then I started getting the emails, started following up, looking at things. And I think then SP was not that active on campus then. Then in 300 level, was it, sorry, 400 level, yeah. They saw, okay, yes, seems this. I was always asking them, when are you going to the next program? Are we not supposed to do this? Are we not supposed to do that? And say, okay, come and join the board as treasurer. But there was nothing really to do because which money are we keeping? But at least I was on the committee, always asking questions, asking this. Then they went for ST. Then it was ST. Yes, it was STC then. So we they went to Unsuka, but I was unable to go because it was already full and everything. Okay, no wahala. Was it Unsuka or Unilag? I can't even remember. I just know it was one of those two. They came back, we asked for reports, then we got into 500. I think we were able to plan one event, which was more like a get together and fair for the outgoing set. And I got into 500 level. So I took up the role of vice president. We were able to, I think that particular year, we ranked, I think, in terms of activities for Lagos section, we ranked first. But unfortunately, we were unable to. And then SP was very strict. Once it's time to present the final year report on what you've done, if you are not there, they would cancel your name. Unfortunately, the president got there late, and that was how we're not able to present. And I believe if we were able to, we would have actually topped the list, not like come home with the award or something. But irrespective, we were able to make impact. That was when we started the SP marathon. We do like this keep clean the school, we'll go to a market, clean the markets, lots of activity. Even did a collaboration with Unilag. So like we did a whole lot within that 1 year. We're able to like bring SP back to life, active and everything. And we were all so happy and very fulfilled. So obviously imagine me getting access to those kind of things. I just had to continue with it. And I was able to volunteer right after school, even during service. I did a project in the school where I served through SP. Did a whole lot of things. And that year when I served was when I got my first award from SP. I was not even expecting it. So how has SP helped me? It helped my public speaking, helped my presentation. Because you go for ALPs and you have slides, you have to present, you have to talk. I've been able to lead projects. I've talked about projects. That's just tiny project of what I have led compared to growing to joining the YP Nigerian Council. I was one student affairs chair. I think we were able to like start up one or two more chapters when I was there. Did a whole lot of innovative events, and I worked actively with engineer Chukwemeke then. So we did a whole like plan things, and I would tell you how this planning actually became very useful for me. Okay, we then would obviously you guys are planning Nexus. We reach out to sponsors, speakers. So you are utilizing all the human skills possible that you need on your job. Then as a student, like I said, if you can manage your fellow students, then your emotional intelligence is on a high side. I use that as a selling point when I went for my interview in Liver then, and they asked, what was one task you did that? And I told them, I said, I am the head of the class. And not just the head of the class for my department, I was the head of class for the entire faculty. So imagine, and I gave them a scenario saying the lecturer called us that we needed to come to classes 1 week before exam. And you all know how 1 week before exam is. Everybody wants to read. You don't want any lecturer to come disturb you or anything anymore. And obviously I cannot say no to the lecturer. And my colleagues will expect me to go to come back with the news that we are not having the class, which I knew was not possible. I had to bargain with the lecturer. And I told him, I said, sir, you want us to come to class on Saturday when normally we should be in the hostel reading. And I know that this class is actually going to be very important for us. Sir, you also stay downhill. So instead of you coming uphill, I didn't come from the perspective of my colleagues. I came from the perspective of what he would benefit from it. And I was like, sir, I think let us just have the class downhill. Then it's easy for the students to come around. And that was how the class was fixed for downhill. The next thing was how to relay the message to my colleagues. First thing they just wanted to know is the class holding yes or no, and they were ready to just pounce on me. So as I told them, yes. You know, no, you will just be doing any you're too soft. Lecturer will talk to you. You'll not be able to say no. I said I should say no. And at the end of the day, the question, what he wants to teach us will come out in exam. Please, of what benefits was it? Is it not better we have this class and we can even ask if there is maybe an AOC or something? Despite the fact that I know that some lecturers, when you ask them for AOC, they tell you COA, which means concentrate on all. So that was just like a win-win. Then we had the class downhill. It was quite easy for everybody instead of we all going uphill. So now just talking about it, I'm like, wow, that's negotiation skills on its own. So imagine you want to work with the likes of like all these consulting firm. Everybody wants to end up being a consultant at the end of the day when you get your expertise. Those are the skills that they actually look for. So now I'm going to go to the technical skills. Aside what they teach us in the university, let's leave whatever they teach us in the university for the certificate. And to pick the basics, there are lots of free access online. Even right now, doing my master's, we get to do some classes. You know, can't compare. Like I do a lot of things that is related to electrical engineering, energy management, and the likes like that. So, but I studied chemical engineering. So it's going to be like a whole lot of work getting to understand these things. I just go to YouTube. There are even some things we did in terms of management, game theory. Anything want to scatter my head like this, I just go on YouTube, sit down, watch the videos, make sure I understand it to the best of my knowledge, and I'm back on track. So we have these things. I understand that yes, the lecturers want you to, some of them want you to give it back to them the way they did and all like that. While some, especially for the one that has to do with maths, you just need to understand how you can solve it and still bring yourself back to where the lecturer wants you to. I, for one, am this kind of person that I like to solve from the basics. That's where I was taught back then in secondary school. Like, we don't use calculators when I was in my secondary school. So it's a thing of you need to understand the basics of what you are working on for you to even be able to solve it. So I'm still used to that. That's why I break down my calculations to the way that even someone that does not even understand it before can read it. But I just make sure I don't miss out the points that the lecturer understands. So these things are there. There's Coursera. Now you see lots of free these. I think last month was Women's Month. A whole lot of organization had free courses for ladies. You are not seeing free courses for ladies. You are seeing one tech skill somewhere that is connected to Coursera. Please grab them. But know your limits. Some of you start thousands of courses. I am not left out though. I have started some courses and I have not finished. Will I finish it? Yes. But when? I don't know. But at this moment, I know maybe I don't really need it for now. I just want to add to my knowledge. That's why I'm still like slowing down because I have other things I want to do. But these things are at your beck and call. That time you're using to scroll through social media, done other things. Learn, dedicate your time. Learn the dominant tools in your field. There's ISIS for those that study. Even ISIS is not only for the chemical engineers now. Mechanical engineers to do simulation. I don't know. Okay, yes, mechanical engineering. There's PDMS. There is for electrical engineers. I really do not know the tools for electrical engineers. Sorry, apologies. But you guys know these tools that are relevant to your courses. Please, please learn them. Know how to use them. Yeah, there's one thing RTSIM. I think they do lots of training. Can collaborate with them. Can learn from them. Apply. See them learning, utilizing these things. It's easy for you to apply it. I think even when I was still working at Dangote, I did a I did a virtual internship. I was working full time. I still did a virtual internship because I wanted to get I was working utility and I saw the internship, it was related to utilities. I was like, okay, let me see what I can do. I was using obviously P and IDs, PFD, designing them, but I wanted to do something on my own because already for Dangote there's a plan. So we're either just maybe doing it out of wanting to get things. Please confirm you can still hear me.
Yes, ma'am. We can hear you loud and clear.
Okay.
Yes, we
Thank you.
can hear you.
So and I was able to Microsoft. I designed a PFD, some P and ID, IC, and the likes like that. Funny enough, even now in my course here, there was a course we had to use MATLAB. Then I just like, okay, yeah, MATLAB and the likes, I just use it on the peripheral. I had to use it in class. So it's in a bit, I struggled a little because it's not something I use every day. But at least because I knew it before and I know what it is for, I was able to like, okay, get on track, some coding, did some Python, R and the likes like that to Excel to get all of these things. If you ask me, can I use it? I will tell you yes. Then when I get on the job, I'll further learn or I'll at least at the application I understand. So these are these things you need to at least understand tools that are important in your. I'm not supposed to be begging you, but I'm going to beg you because sincerely, I deal with a lot of students through my mentorship program. And sometimes I don't want to say I'm not disappointed, but I'm just surprised at how comfortable some people are with mediocre. You need to go the extra mile. And it's hurtful when you even have someone pushing you to do more. And at the end of the day, you just remain with the barest minimum. And you expect to compete others out there. No, it doesn't work that way. And it's not just about the first class. And that is why I talked about the human skills first. To have the first class, can you sell yourself? Aside what you did in school, were you just within the fence? Did you sit on the fence? Did you jump outside the fence? Which one did you do? So just staying in there means you locked yourself up inside that box and you're going to remain there. Not to the Nigerian education system, but a lot of these lecturers still teach us with the notes they used when they were when they were undergraduates. But like I said, if you remember my first statement, the world has changed. I that graduated in 2015 can outrightly say that the world has changed. What do we say about the lecturers that are grandfathers and the likes like that? So we need to see ourselves beyond all of that. And that is why SP, like I was narrating a scenario of the last module I had in school, it was just last week. And we're doing something on communication and the likes like that. So the lecturer was asking the who has seen this there was like a framework, who has seen it before. And most of the Germans were able to raise their hands. And he asked where they have seen it, and they all said in their primary school. I was like, okay, at least thank God for the type of primary school that I went to. I was able to learn some cognitive skills and the likes like that. But there are some, but we all know the regular schools in Nigeria, even university, not nobody will teach communication skills. Nobody will teach you how to do your CV. And that is why the likes of these professional bodies, societies, mentorship, and the likes are there to help you beyond what the school. I always tell people Anybody that has applied to my mentorship program before know that I will never ask you what course you are studying, because whatever we are going to help you with has nothing to do with your degree, but it has something to do how you will sell yourself with your degree. So there are lots of certifications, but please don't just write and collect the certificates for collecting sake. Know why you are collecting it. Better for you to, some of you will learn Excel, learn this, learn that. Okay, please, let me even just, I want to please, you are in this room and you cannot use Microsoft and Excel. Please go and learn it. Nobody will make it of. Nobody would laugh at you for doing. There are tools online. Please learn it. I'm serious. It's very hurtful when you talk to people and they tell you, I don't have Microsoft, but I don't know how to use. Dearest thing, for yourself. And that's the thing. All of these things are for yourself. Then, like I said, contribute community work. I'm going to talk about that one later. And I'm going to plead on behalf of all of us that used to. So now, let's go into your brand. Stand out before you even apply. Some of you, your digital footprint is zero. If I Google some people's name now like this, you first be like, are you sure you can employ this person? In 2025 and whatever years to come, your online presence is for your first interview intentionally. I don't know if you've ever noticed now that when you apply for stuff, they ask you for your social media handle. They're not asking for accent's sake. They are checking it. If you want to apply for a US visa today, ask and then check it. I saw it firsthand, like they check it. So they want to know if that thing you are saying correctly, that's in that life you are living. I have a friend that had some nasty controversy on social media. To date, he can't travel today because of some of the things he put out there. Some of you will say it's unfair, but also why just go out there, and some of you on Twitter, you just go bant on Twitter and just bant for banting sake. Please, anything that is going to destroy, I'm sure you see the way people call back things that people have put out there. Was it this year? Sorry, I'm old school, but I know at least I still hear some gist. Was it this year they were still dragging Simi and Adekunle Gold over some things that they've put out a long time ago? How much more you that you are still trying to struggle to get a job? These people have their lives that they are living. So now let's look at how to build brands. Firstly, create a LinkedIn account. I will not beg you to account. Go and if you are not on LinkedIn now, tonight, connect on LinkedIn, download it, should be on your phone, create a profile, start listing your name, course you studied, things. And the thing is, your LinkedIn is like your digital CV. I think that I said that earlier. You can post insights. Now you're attending this conference. And that's the benefit of all of these things you're attending. You attend the conference, you post what you learned, you tag the speaker, they also follow you, you put comments, people from there. People that are interested in those things you post will start connecting with you. They start engaging in your post and they are watching out for you. Connect to professionals. Then, yeah, I talked about portfolios like GitHub. Even if you are not a techie person, you can have a GitHub account. I remember when I got a scholarship, was it with Dupuna, when we were doing something on web development. I'm sure if I still go to my GitHub account today, whatever I put there, how many years ago, 5, 7 years ago, it's still there. So if I decide to build up on it today, then there. Same way you have things on your Google Drive that is just sitting down there. But this one is a professional space. Show your work, not just your degree. Maybe you are doing something with Microsoft Excel, you created a dashboard or something. Upload them there, put them there. The dates are there. That's the beautiful thing. Anybody that opens it knows the day and they'll be like, oh wow, so you've been doing this as far back as this. Then once in a while you try to even work with people and collaborate with people on it. Get all of those things. Also, share content. I've said that before. Credibility and consistency. That thing. cannot be overemphasized. I'm still struggling with that's the I am not really like I used to. I don't think I've ever really been the I want to be out on social media, but I struggle with things out there, even down to my foundation. That's why we're like, okay, we need to get volunteers to get this thing because if I use my personal life to run that foundation, just remain as personal as it is to me. So I'm not someone that really wants to put everything out there, no, except I feel okay, yes, it's important and all. But I love to learn from people. Am I there? I'm there. So this year I decided, I said, okay, I have to be intentional. Not even with the new position I am with SB. I have to like engage on some posts, attend some events, do a whole lot of things, and they've been beneficial. I can't count how many new connections I have had, new engagements I have had. Like my portfolio for April was full to the last. I had to cancel out on a lot of things. May is getting filled up already. So it's not about pride, but it's just for you to see how I have evolved through. I have friends that are doing better than I am. So imagine if I now do more, how much more I'm going to get. Now I'm going to give it tax. It's the rule of three. I saw it when I was like, okay, let me come up with my own. And it's about your personal brand. So I want to say something before I talk about this. A lot of you have different personalities on different social media. It's okay and it's not okay in the sense that maybe okay, LinkedIn should be things that concern professional. I know someone when I was supposed to do an internship with Owando and I met her. I saw her Instagram profile and I was like, what? Completely different from who I know on LinkedIn. But the thing is, she's a media person. But sometimes we tend to look at people and want to live the same life that they live. But either they've gotten to a point in their career that can live that life that they are living, or their life, their career revolves around that life that you see there. You've not gotten wise to say something. How far away one. Don't be like them. Oh, leave them. So um you can actually delete some things that you've posted some things that don't make sense. Nobody says you should not have a social life. Yes, you can. But there are limits to some of these things. We actually will not want to go out and just drag somebody anyhow or talk something that you don't even have facts about. Go for, yes, you can decide that your Instagram is for the parties and the likes like that and all. So when people see, they be like, okay, I feel this person is trying to separate personal life and his professional life, which is very okay. But now, if you now want to apply to some stuffs, they ask you for your Instagram, they ask you for your LinkedIn. You might decide what you want to do with them. And but for me, I don't think I would ever have a reason to say I would not share my Instagram or my whatever. Whatever you see there is whoever I am. So just know how to live that life because I think maybe one thing, another tax, maybe I should have called the rule of four then. Go online, maybe after this meeting, go and search, just type your name on Google and look at what it brings out. Then can do it several times, not just like looking at the first tab or the first thing that comes up. Just put it out there and see what information, perception people have about you. And it's not just a perception, it is what affects you. So the first rule is I would not say per week because it can be overwhelming. Even I myself, I will not post 3 times per week. The only time I would post 3 times per week is maybe I went for a conference that is 3 days back. I would believe I was very intentional about. So at least post on LinkedIn 3 times a month. Times a month. Connect with 3 people per week or per month. And not just 3 people. 3 people that are you are collecting free mentorship. Oh. This is the same tax I gave my people in my mentorship program that some of them are still doing shakara. Connect with 3 people per week or per month, and not just 3 people within your network, people within your career line. Oh, Opeyemi is even here. Okay, good. I can see you are laughing. People that you aim to like, so you can actually connect with them. And let me just tell you, don't be bothered if they don't accept the connection. Because LinkedIn is so sweet that once you have connected with somebody, get to see code and all, then you're fine. Sure, you want to further engage on their posts, you connect with people, you can drop them an in message. Try as much as possible to your message. Don't AI it. You can tell AI to assist you, but please don't enter somebody's DM and be typing something that AI give. Just be real and let the person know why you like the person, what you want to learn, and why you want to connect with the person. Very professional, very simple. Then the third is be a part of 3 projects before you graduate. I don't know the demography of those on the call, but if you are, even if you are in your final year projects can be one of the projects. Nexus can be one of the projects. Maybe another department, your church, your mosque is doing something. You can just be a part of something. Like, your CV evolves. If I show you my CV back then, different from what it is now. Not because I just evolved in terms of stuff. There are some things I took out of my, because at this moment now I just be like, okay, no, it doesn't really matter. But at that time, I needed it to fill that space, to fill that vacuum. So my CV is not going to be empty. So I will willingly and outrightly put it out there, part of Nexus, plan this, I did that you did and all. So this is the number one tax that I am giving. I have another tax. So maybe in this life, maybe I'm even supposed to be just same. I don't know. But maybe in the next world when I come. Or is LASU recruiting? I'm joking. Oh. So now let's move to experience. Comes in different ways. Like I've talked about, not just about full time, because sincerely, nobody really expects you as a student or a fresh graduate to have a full time job experience. And I know that it can be very internship. And that is why we are here. Some of you will be like, 6 months, I did not get anything to do. And I just like didn't get anything to do, and you didn't get anything to do. Like the last mentorship conference we had for the mentorship program, there was an HR. And funny enough, he finished from last week. He was also my set, but he studied chemical engineering, but he's currently an HR professional. He made a statement that I hold on to and I share anytime I have the opportunity. He said, there are jobs. The question is, can you do it? I will talk about, yes, everybody wants to do the white collar job. You have the skills that is required to do that job. You have the skills that is required to that person that can actually do the job. That's one. And now let's move lower. That job that looks like a smelling job, can you do it? Why? Because it is lower than your standard. But one thing we forget to see is, would this thing add to my CV? Maybe it will. I see sometimes even people that, okay, yes, you just see somebody laying around begging, and I'm like, there are people looking for somebody to come and wash plates for them. Obviously, that person cannot do the job that is available. So now you need to check in with yourself. Are you ready to do the dirty job or to do that one you call a clean job? Are you ready? Like, do you fit into what they want? And that's why there's always a job description. So now let's talk about internships. A lot of you would come into people's DM and tell them, I'm starting my internship next month. And I'll be like, how do you want to get it? You knew right from when you were in 100 level that you were going to be internship in 400 level. Then 1 month to the internship. I know I get lots of excuses. And that was when we got our internship letter. I am telling you that if you needed your internship letter way earlier, back then when I was in last, we didn't even get internship letter from IT office. The letter was readily available and I've been using it. My first internship was in 300 level. Obviously, we know that school doesn't require us to do internship in 300 level. Well, on then our last strike was back to back. On like was it on strike? And immediately I got home, I kept telling my mom, I said, Mommy, I cannot sit down at home because I experienced strike in 100 level. I experienced strike in 200 level. So this one was already looking like something that was not even going to end anytime soon. I kept saying, I can't sit at home. I had to start telling her, everybody you know, let's start reaching out to them. Let's start disturbing them. Anybody that I see that looks like somebody that can, Mommy, please let me tell this person. Like, that is the power of the little network that me I have. And that was how one day she just told me, this person has said you should bring your CV. You have to submit it, this. And that was how I submitted my CV. And I got opportunity to do an internship with NMPC just in my 300 level. An internship that my school did not ask for. And they asked for IT letter and the likes like that. Obviously, there's no IT letter for 300 level. As I called Dr. Hideko, I think it was the HOD then. I was like, sir, and I explained myself to him. And that's the problem. Some of you don't even have a good relationship with your lecturer. How do you even want to reach out to them to ask for help? Some of you will graduate from school and you cannot even tell your lecturer, sir, I need a recommendation letter. People should change your ways. So I reached out to him. He was able to help me use the letterhead. He wrote a letter for me, and that was how I was able to intern at NGC. That was my first ever internship, and it was awesome. I met people, like you meet with engineers working on the field. I was on field, like working full time, collecting money that I did not spend even with the time I was in the period. I came back to school like this. I was a baller. So that experience, that exposure, you work with people and they are willing to show you their pay slip because they'll tell you there's a prospect. Like I see you getting more than this salary. So why would I hide my pay slip for you? That word stood out for me back then. That was somebody believing in me, somebody I did not even know. So please, the moment you know, once you are in the latest time, you should apply for one. Now you guys are even doing very short semester. So once you know that your semester is very short, immediately you are finishing your 300 level and you go home, start applying to companies that accept unsolicited application. The only places that we know that okay, yes, can be have issues and maybe companies that they have automated time that they get students to apply for internship. Let me tell you something. We are still in your 300 level and you the application and you know that by the time you will be done when you need the IT, the next application will not come out. Apply. They beat you. No. Go for the exam. Go for the interview. When they ask when are you supposed to start, explain your predicaments. Explain. If they see you as somebody that is good and you get that connection on the spot, you can have the opportunity to come back there when you are ready to do your internship. Some of them are that flexible. And the question is, how did you sell yourself during that interview? Be open. Don't lie. So that's I said, target and these are another target companies are I have a colleague that said, I think I got interrupted by network. Hello? Oh, okay,
We can
fine.
hear you,
Thank
man.
you. Okay, thank you. I hope I'm not spent. Hey God, I've spent a lot of time. Oh. Let me move quite fast. So I want to target companies that invest in students' development. Treat every intern tax as a showcase of your potential. That is where you can actually sell yourself. My second internship was with Unilever. I already told you hint about the kind of questions they were asking me and how I was even applying just being HOC kind of questions they were asking me to the extent that two departments, I did two interviews, two departments wanted me, quality analysis, yes, QA and QC and the research and development. And luckily I got to research and development. Here I went to the lab to check on what they were doing. Head of department saw me and she was like, "So you are here? Hey, how they are taking you from me?" I was just looking at her like this. The office they are talking about me. I don't know anything. I just know that I am here to do an internship. And this internship actually started for year two. It started before 400 level, funny enough. So you see that I did not decline the opportunity despite it came before I needed because we are actually still on strike. I started. I did like 1 month and the likes with them. I was so lucky that when I got there was when we were doing lots of research. I was able to be a part of even some trainings. So that thing, I hold on to it tomorrow. When I was done with my internship, if you see the big car that I brought to Ekwe to come and share products, you will think that I worked there for 1 year. So then after that, I got other opportunities. I think with this APM terminal, they were also in 300 level when they did their exam. So you get internship, then you get scholarship. But because I was unable to start my internship with them, so I got only the scholarship. So those are actually the opportunities that are out there. Like you see that I never said no to any opportunity. I applied. I went for the exam. I went for it is when we get to that interview and I'll tell them, "Ah, okay, but unfortunately, I will not." Well, you say it in a way that you would know they would be willing to like, oh yes, when you are ready, come back. I don't just leave there without having a concrete connection. So it's for you to go back because I actually wanted to go back to Unilever and the HR like promised like this. And unfortunately the HR left before I could go back. My other internship was with NLNG. Same strike happened. I passed, then Ebola first started. So I couldn't even resume when I was supposed to resume, but I was in NLNG. I was living the life, living on Bonny Island, seeing life differently from what is in Lagos. Got the exposure, interacted with them. When I was to start was when LASU decided to resume. And that is one thing I am very, very still bitter about today because I wish I started that internship. But because I was head of class, all the lecturers were calling me, "Where are you? HOCU, you are not in school. How do you want your other colleagues to come to school?" I came back to school. My people, 2 weeks after, LASU went on strike. I wanted to cry, but it was too late. Right. I still, at some point, I still used to tell people that I did internship in NLNG because people knew I was in NLNG then. Like I came back, I was chubby, I was looking fresh and all like that. So those are the things I learned a lot of things from this thing. So personal projects, and I used to look at how all these HOC, all of those things, how they helped me because these are the questions they would ask you during your interviews. Document your process and outcomes online. Link is there. You can do all of these things. Treat your projects just like what I said when you're doing your internship, when you're doing personal project. You can come up with a personal project. And I know Akoyemi can testify. Those are the kind of things we give them on the mentorship program. So you treat your project because we want everybody to have something can hold on to yourself that you did and you can put on your CV. So now this one I want to beg on behalf of every body that signs up as volunteers. And I am speaking on behalf of every organization that take volunteers. Please, you are not going to be active. Please don't apply. Please don't. It's always disheartening when you apply and you get there and you are not doing anything. It's actually like you're giving this person more work because recruitment is actually very expensive. Like I did a course on HR and it is very expensive. Companies spend a lot recruiting. You think it's just about they sitting down, especially those that use external recruiters. They pay these people heavily because they believe they'll give them the best hand. So imagine you come in, you sign up, you do all of these things, they take and they pick you as the best person and you get on board and you're doing nothing. You've wasted the person's time. wasted that valuable person that would have gotten the opportunity. So there are lots of volunteering opportunities. You see them online. The student startup, you see them, even small, small business. You can just talk to somebody. Okay, this is your shop that you are selling something here. I used to do you have a laptop? Say yes. I can actually design a tracker for you to put all the things there. So it's easy for you to document. Really? How much will it cost? Let me do it first. If you like it, then you can pay me. That's you are building your skill. And if you know you are good, you can charge the person outrightly. But at least you are like giving yourself the opportunity to get these things done. I have little companies I do one or two things for, blah, 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 like that. And I know I get little change from them and not like anything. It's just something you do at will and people later are willing to pay you for it. I did talked about freelancing, charity, and all of those things. So I you can see that I was able to infuse my own personal experience into all of these things to know that I'm not just blabbing. I'm not just saying these things. I lived through. These are the things I did, and I am in the results. Okay, let me just say this one last story. My job at Dangote, when I did my interview, they saw project management on it, and the man was like, "Oh, really? Project management?" I said, "Yeah, I did the course during my NYS, but obviously it's not the PMP, but it's just the course you do before you do your PMP." And it was like, "Have you managed project before?" I said, "A lot." So okay, so explain. And that is where you see where those technical skills, the terminologies, and all of those things will come into play. I explained in the 5 processes of project management. I explained planning of NICE. You are an SP member, you know what NICE is. I use the initial, the implementation, the planning, initiation, planning, execution, management, and conclusion. I used it to explain every phase of planning in NICE conference. Before they even talked about my technical skills during the interview, I knew the man had already fallen in love with me, and I was like, okay, this is just like I go for interviews, and I always tell people except I don't make it to the interview stage. If I get to the interview stage, I know I'm going to wow you, except you're asking me questions that I really do not know about. But when it comes to soft skills and the likes like that, I would do my very best to sell myself because I believe there's no question you want to ask that I cannot answer. So now let's talk about landing your first internship. Firstly, you need to research companies. Go on LinkedIn, follow them, connect, know what they do. Can actually have like a notepad or something, jot these things down. It might be digital, it might be physical. Put them there, work, know how they come in. Because cannot go to a company you're having like you have an interview with the company or you're entering the DM of somebody and you cannot even say what the company does and how it aligns to you. So when you do this thing, it's there for you. Then you can craft your application. Never use the same for every application. Please don't. Tailor your CV to the application. I know for as a student and the likes like that, okay, maybe sometimes it can fly because they really do not expect you to have. But if you want to stand out, just make sure you infuse some things in the maybe the job description. But the moment you are out of school, don't try it. Don't try it. So and there's a way you actually like words, like look at this example, led a team of 5. That outrightly explains, quantifies it, and it actually gives it quality. Team of 5, you worked together and you led. Better than you saying I'm a team player. Team player in what? Then leverage your network, reach out to people. Sometimes it's actually easy when you connect to some alumnus, alumni, professor, LinkedIn. There's some of your lecturers in that school that people don't know that they are powerful. Just utilize them. You know, this CP Professor Ideko, that man is just people just used to look at him and as if this is that man has connection. And now you can see for you to know how much connection he has. He's now the I think he's now the is he the chairman of NSC Ekpe or I think yeah, I think so. So you can see how much of connections those people we have. I remember when we revived NSC also in 500 level. It was the Lagos Ogun State chairman. You were able to bring Professor Falade down to Epe, brought in people to Epe to come and talk. Just you see, I show you the design of the hall daddy. It's like something that some people just put one or two things together. But because we were determined and we use this connection. So please don't limit yourself. Oh. Then okay, so there's something called the STAR method, called situation, the task, the action, and the results. So when you are asked these questions, talk about okay, situation. Okay, yes, okay, I talked about how I let me try to use an example. But just go online. If you type STAR method for interviews, there are tips on how you can do it. I'm sure there might even be better ones. Show how much you were like show that you were passionate about that thing you're talking about. And please don't leave an interview without asking a question. It's better to have a lot of questions because sometimes those questions you want to ask and also it do not make sense for you to ask a question that you've answered. So that's why it's better to have lots of questions. And it's okay for you to have a book. Maybe it's a physical um interview. Just okay, maybe after they are done talking to you, you can just jot one or two things. Not that you jot while they are talking. No, you might just like point out some things and they see that okay, yes, you are you might pose as somebody that looks smart to them and all of it. Just ask them questions and particularly questions that is with respect to your growth in the company or how well you can actually benefit them. Because they just want to see that you are interested. Then lastly, when you go, show up early. Show up early. I know yes, there's traffic in Lagos, but there are ways you can do it. I used to live in Festac. From my house to MS or anytime I'm going to the island, I get a straight bus from my bus stop. But if I have to get to the island by 8, if I leave my house by 7 and there's no traffic, I can actually get there. But if I leave my house by 7, I'll get to the island by 10 because of traffic. So if I want to go to the island and get to the island by 7 or 8, I leave my house by 5:30. That is me being strategic and I know what I want to get from it. So it's not just about you do things intentionally. You plan. Like people around me know that I'm a planner. Like, I'm sorry, I can plan for Africa. And how has this thing helped? It has helped me. So please, let's lies all of these things. Like it might look like a masterpiece, it might look like a lot, but sincerely, it's not a lot. If you have been building yourself, if you have been doing these things, they would come easy. They will come easy for you. Like go beyond what is written on your job description. Not that to do over sabi. I'm not saying do over sabi, but at least quite inquisitive, build relationship, ask for feedback. You can even like see if it's not the platform where there's a network or something. Ask for somebody that can be your mentor. So just for you to so now this one is about you. Don't have this. This was supposed to be my number one, but intentionally I did not put it at
I'm
number
sorry.
one.
I'm sorry to cut you short, Miss Mistura. I'm
That
so
is fast
sorry.
spent, Abby.
Yes, it is fast paced, and I believe it is now time for the question and answer session. So maybe
Okay,
the rest of it can be put into the question and answer
okay.
session if you don't
Let them
mind.
ask questions. No problem. I'm very sorry.
All right, thank you so much. And as much as I would have loved you to continue on tonight, I believe most of the students would like to prepare for the day ahead tomorrow,
Okay.
as well as the students on IT to prepare for the work that they have tomorrow as well. So please, in case you have any questions at all based off of what she has spoken about, or what you are just simply curious about on how to build an early career as a student, please put up your virtual hands and I'll be sure to call on you one by one. All right, we have one already. We have Adam Lawal. Who else do we have? I know that many of you have questions that you've just always had. Okay, how can I do this? How can I go about this? This is your time. Okay, we have Taufikat. Fantastic. You've always had questions that you've always wanted to ask concerning how to start building your career early. I would say that it is not a good plan. It's not a good plan to say that you want to wait until you graduate before you then start to look for how, or before you then start to gather skills and network that can help with your career. Doing that as an undergraduate is the perfect time. Is really the best time. Oh my god. It is really the best time. Pardon me. Yes. Okay, so we have three hands right now. We are going to start with Adam. Adam, good evening. Please tell us the question that you have, and Miss Mistura is going to answer it accordingly.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Am I audible enough? Hello, am I audible
Yes.
enough? Okay. Yeah. So I'm Adam Lawal. I actually joined from SP Photo, and I'm really happy to join this session tonight. Also, my question for Mr. is number one. Okay, number one is sometimes after making some connection, it's it feels hard to maintain the relationship with the connections. Number one, especially let me say lecturers or professionals, it feels hard. So I want to ask, how do you like how should I be able to go about that? That's number one. So and number two, I'm a mining engineering student. So I want to venture into the mining industry and the petroleum industry. So for the internship, actually we know that internship is always around 400 level, yeah, 400 level for engineering students. I don't know about other departments, but for engineering students, it's 400 level. So now that you said like it's possible to have internship before by 300 level, I mean 300 level and 400 level. Now you said it's possible. So in your own opinion, how should I go about it? Is it should I go for the petroleum first, like to intern at the petroleum company first, or at the mining industry later on? Thank you.
Okay, so let me start with your last question. Because for me, you saying, do you want to go for this first or this? It means you you have options readily available. That is why. You watch when I was sharing my experience, I was going for the opportunities that came for me at that moment. I was not being selective. So I would not, if you have both opportunities at the same time, you have to go back to the drawing board. One, I am not an expert in mining or in your, but you need to ask yourself, what do I want to get from this? For mining engineering, I think some schools, I know somebody that his first mining experience was actually working with a company that does borehole. You think it is in yourself. No, you are going there to understand what exactly runs there. And this guy is actually doing so well now. So that gave him the foreknowledge of that. So, and the internship I did in 300 level was through network. It was through my network. So it might not come as easy as it is. And like I said, they asked me for a reference letter from my school, which I tried to get from my supervisor. And that was because I had a network that could help me. So if you have the network that can help you, you can start your internship even from secondary school, because there are lots of people doing internship in secondary school. So internship doesn't, for every holiday you have, make sure you are learning something. You can start now, maybe it's the borrow company you want to go for and the likes like that. So you to and no knowledge is a waste. So you might have to go back to it and answer that question yourself sincerely. You might, but I would say start with mining, because that gives you the idea of what you are doing within your field. Then when you get to the petroleum, you can integrate that thing you learned as a mining engineer and further understand how you as a mining engineer into the oil and gas industry. That's one. So two, maintaining relationships. Firstly, before connecting with that person, what did you want to get from that person? Because obviously you don't have to talk to somebody every day to maintain a relationship. Do that to me, I'll get bored. And you don't have to always come to say hi, hello, morning, good evening. good what do you want? Just go straight to the point. So you could just tell the person, okay, please, Ma, thank you for connecting with me this, that. I would actually like you to be my mentor. I would, you can just tell the person, I have a personal development plan that I work with. You can share the plan with the person, let the person know that, okay, yes, you're serious and everything. Then indirectly, you're having an accountability partner because you know that you have to prove yourself to this person that you're actually worth being on the person's network. So you might want to, like, Amma, if you don't mind, at the end of maybe every month, I can give you an update of what I've learned and we can maybe have a call over how it will be beneficial. So, and if you want to do something like that, you need to get somebody that aligns with your goals, something you want. Can obviously maybe have a client, ma, I want to learn how you do, or sir, how you've been able to navigate your career. I see that you are following a trajectory that I actually want to follow, and I want to learn from you. You don't have to, you can connect with a lot of people, but you cannot keep up with everybody. So you need to identify the few. So others can just be you learning from them virtually. That's my plain advice. Just look for a way to date yourself what's the then you up with the communication and goes on from there. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, very much. Thank you very much.
Oh,
Okay, thank you very much for that. For answering the question. Thank you so much. Adam, please put down your virtual hand so that we can attend to the other students that also have questions. Next, we have Ukeme Gabriel. I hope I pronounced your name right. Please, as quickly as you can, please ask your question, and Miss Mistura will be sure to answer it. Hello, Gabriel. Are you on the call with us? Okay, I think he's a little busy. Oseni Abbas, if you are here with us, you can ask your question.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening.
good evening.
Good
All right.
evening.
Miss Mistura, is she on call?
Yes, sir.
All right, ma. Good evening, ma. Good evening, ma. Firstly, I want to appreciate these lectures and stories you've given tonight because it's very insightful. You've taught me many things I really did not know I could do. And you've also made points that yes, I will second it personally. So my question goes towards you mentioned that we should have a good relationship with our lecturers. But in some cases, some lecturers seems to be distant. Distant in the sense that they don't really want to have anything to do with students unless it tends to be for the sake of money, corruption, all those kind of things. So what case or what advice would you give students to keep a relationship with such a lecturer if in the case that that lecturer is needed for a particular thing?
Okay. So, um, how many lecturers so far? No, I want us to interact. So I answer this question. How many lecturers so far have you interacted with? Like, has taught you why in
Um,
school?
all right, so I'm in 300 levels, so I've
Okay.
encountered lots of lecturers. Let's say close to 13, 14,
13.
13 or
Oh,
14.
13. 13. Okay, let's stick with 13.
I've interacted
And
with,
okay,
I've interacted
that's taught
with,
you, right?
yes, that have taught me.
So out
And
of
I've,
the 13, are they
yes,
all same way?
no, ma,
Okay.
not at all.
So the thing is, so in what way do you think they'll be useful for you in future? I know I'm asking this question so that you are going to flow together, then you sense from what I want to say. So in what way do you
Yes,
think the lecturers will be useful in future?
in sense that there are times you might need your HOD for a particular reason, like for signatures, for even little talks as to how a department could function. There are sometimes you have concerns with the fact that okay, this social lecturer is doing somehow, and like you feel that this lecturer can actually talk to him, or your HOD in the sense can actually talk to this man for you, or not for you, but in the sense that he could explain better, something like that. You get so I feel that this person, this particular lecturer, I'm not going to mention him, can actually be in the position to help us, but doesn't really want to, because he feels that, I don't know what he feels, but to us, it's as if he's just based for corruption. If you don't give him money, and nothing concern him.
Okay, so he needs money for him to even help you the lecturer to with in class or something.
Yes, it's something similar to that. For the
Okay, so I
interest of
think this one is a major problem, because normally every university is supposed to have like a feedback system and all of those things. So, and it poses to be the only lecturer that can do this. Certainly when it comes to that, I really cannot how to do that, because you are in the university. A lot of things can
yes.
happen.
Mm.
Can mar your future. No, not directly, but in terms of maybe your results. And we know the
Yeah.
way there's this circle and ripple effect of lecturers, and everybody has their
Yes.
eyes on you. So if you believe that that would actually mar your result, I would just
That's
advise go
don't
the
go.
extra mile, read somewhere else to understand this course, and maybe speak to those who have done this course before and get them to maybe give you on the how the lecturer asks questions in the exam, and this would guide you in the best way to answer the lecturer's exam, and you can just pass it and leave sincerely. But I was firstly thinking your question was coming in the aspect of maybe you need lecturer to like give you a reference letter or something. Any lecturer can give you a reference letter.
Yes, I know any lecturer can give me a reference. I was
Yeah,
actually
so
meaning the way you answer my question is the best way actually, because in the sense that my department now, I'm in civil engineering department, so we're literally the first set of my department. So I really don't have seniors to run to,
okay.
aside contacting students from outside schools like other schools. So
I
I
understand where you're coming from. I understand where you're
yes,
coming from. I really cannot help you at this moment, but maybe you can connect with me on LinkedIn. Let's can talk, but I am not promising anything because I really do not know. Because one, civil engineer was not even in Ekwe when I was there, but I most
yeah,
likely would not know the lecturers. But let's just see if there's something we can actually talk about. I don't know. I
yeah.
understand
I
and I feel your
just
pain,
like
and it's actually very odd for me.
exactly. Yeah. But anyways, thank you so much, man. I really understand. I really appreciate what you've done for us and what you
You're
just taught me
welcome.
today. It's something I'll definitely do. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for that, ma. Ooh, the rain has really picked up on my side here. The last question we are going to have is from Okeme Gabriel. Okeme, are you back on the call? Okay, I guess he's still missing. He's one of the people that I spoke about earlier that would simply join the call and set their phones down. I hope everyone can still hear me because it's quite rowdy here. The rain has picked up from a quiet drizzle to just a little bit of a storm.
Yes, we can
Yes.
hear you.
Okay, thank you very very much for that. Anyhow, um, I would like to apologize, Mrs. Mistura, for cutting you off the other time. It was absolutely my fault for not actually keeping you up with time, and you spent so much time. I was actually just carried away with all of the tips because right now I'm on my IT, and just all of the tips you are giving on how to get IT placements faster. It was just making so much sense to me that, oh my God, so I would have done this. This is what I would have done. I would have looked for an IT placement like months earlier and not just not just the week I got my letter. So I'm really, really, really sorry for just cutting you off abruptly. I really
No
apologize. That was
problem.
absolutely my bad. Um, all right. Thank you so much. Anyhow, um, right now, I just want to say thank you on behalf of SP LASU, on behalf of the executives and the students for just impacting us tonight. We actually learned practical tips, soft skills, technical skills. Yeah. He who has here, let him hear. All those skills like Microsoft Excel, Word, all of these things, they don't come to you naturally. You're going to have to go and learn them by yourself. Yeah, you are going to have to go and learn them by yourself. So these are the things I learned today, and I assure you that they are definitely going to follow me on to be put into practice and in repetition. All right, thank you so much, Miss Mistura. Please, I want you guys to just give her a virtual round of applause. It's really not easy. Honestly, you took out enough time to break everything down for us. How many decades ago were you last to school and you had to dig up memories once again just to teach us? Thank you so much.
Thank you
Honestly,
very
thank
much.
you very
Thank
much. Yeah. Yes, we would like to know if it is your name, Mistura Yusuf, that we would find on LinkedIn in case you would like to connect with you to probably further
Yes,
conversation.
yes.
All right, all right, all right. So
I
if you
I'll
need,
type.
okay, okay. So if you need to connect with Miss Mistura, just type in, or she's going to put it in the chat box actually. So you don't need to bother with that. You can go connect with her, foster a relationship. From there, you can enter Dangote. You can enter, one of the top places. Start making that money as quickly as possible. Anyhow, all right, all right, all right. Right now we are at the I'll say the third half. No, the third half is not proper. I'll say we're at the third leg of tonight's webinar, meaning that it is actually coming to a close. And here is when we have the announcements and the upcoming events. And you already know what time it is. It is 4 days away from an absolute groundbreaking, earth thundering, is that correct? Earthquaking, that's the word. An earthquaking event. Ha! One that cannot be competed with in the whole of LASU. You know what? Don't mind the use of my vocabulary. English is quite far from me because of the excitement I have. Are you guys ready? Like, honestly, you guys have no idea how excited I am. NEXUS 3.0 is simply 4 days away. Oh my god. I'm elated. I'm floating from excitement. I am, oh, like honestly, my happiness knows no bounds. It's just, it's still quite unfortunate that I really can't be there in person. One would say it's Tinubu's fault, and I would absolutely concur. But anyhow, we move. So for everybody here, I would like us to make sure that we don't miss it. Any plans you have for Saturday, please scrap it. We're talking about NEXUS 3.0. We're talking about the biggest tech event in the whole of Lagos State University. I would even argue the whole of Lagos, but some would say that is too far. But I don't think it is. Honestly, it's NEXUS 3.0 we're talking about now. What do you mean? So please, any plans you have for Saturday, cancel it. Bring your friends, boyfriends, girlfriends, everybody must be present, and they just must. I have nothing more to say. They just must. All right. Thank you so much, Miss Mistura. Thank you very much. Lastly, we have the closing remark. Yeah, lastly, we have the closing remark by our president, Sylvester Agoste, and after that, we'll have the photo session. So please do not leave after the closing remark. Mr. President, are you on the call with us?
Oh, yes, I
Yes, I
am.
am.
Good
Good
evening.
evening. All right, good evening. We can hear you.
Okay,
Okay,
so I
so I
want
want
to
to
thank
thank
everybody
everybody
for
for
making the
making
time
the
to
time to
join us
join us
for this
for this
evening's
evening's
webinar.
webinar.
And especially, I want to thank our speaker, Mrs. Mistura Yusuf, for making our time as well to share our insights and knowledge, our experience with us as we build anticipation towards our flagship event, NEXUS 3.0. And just like Pamela had mentioned, NEXUS 3.0 is an event that is open to everyone. So please invite your friends, try your best to come around and come on time, come very early. SP last we don't have African time. 9 o'clock is 9 o'clock. So be there on time and let us have a great time together. Let us learn together, network together, and bridge the gap between academia and industry together. So I want to wish you all a very wonderful night's rest. It's a chilly evening here in Ekwe, so I'm hoping all of us get to sleep tight. And yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting all of you on Saturday for NEXUS 3.0 conference. So thank you very much and have a great night, everyone.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Mr. President. So please do not leave. Remember, we have the tradition that we have to uphold as SP LASU. So please just quickly put on your camera, just wipe it clean, put it on very quickly, so that we can just take the photo session and you can post on your LinkedIn, post on your WhatsApp status, Snapchat story, Instagram story, everywhere. Just prepare them that you know what, I'm well prepared for Nexus. Are you? You understand? Are you? Okay. All right. So we're quickly going to take a screenshot of all the pages. One, two. Okay, absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. All right. Thank you all for attending tonight's webinar. I really appreciate you all. I really